Welcome back. Welcome back to Touching the Edge. I'm so happy to see you today. My name is Drake and I'm so very happy to see you. I hope you don't mind that I have a very friendly energy that I'm shining towards you, because I do feel that when we connect through the heart, we end up being in each other's family. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you for being part of this series that's focused on an unbreakable intent, an intent that is able to flow with challenge and yet never really break. An intent that you can rely on in the midst of even the most difficult of circumstances. And I want to suggest that what happens is when we find that ability to interrupt the secondary emotion. Remember, the primary emotion is when you feel something, and the secondary emotion is how you feel about what you feel. And so when you can interrupt that secondary emotion, you can tone down the loudness of how you feel and really listen to that whisper that is your intuitive relationship with your own deepest intent. And when you do that, then there's an entirely different relationship to the world. All of a sudden you begin to realize that everything is working for you, not against you. Because even mistakes end up being the path that you need to follow, even if it's circuitous, to follow to where you need to get to. So be aware that your emotions are here to add flavor to your world, to color your world, but not to dominate your world. You are the sovereignty in your life. So let's do a practice right now, if you wouldn't mind. So I want to suggest to you that we want to develop a sense of freedom in relationship with our emotions. Remember, freedom is not about having 1,000 choices. It's about having the ability to make the right choice. And that comes when you're not blinded by all those intense emotions. So let's do a practice right now to connect with our emotions. So right where you are, I'm going to ask you to slow your breathing down. Activate the de-escalation template. Slow the breathing down right where you are. Tongue is in contact with the roof of the mouth, and just gradually find that breath coming in and out. And just realize that when you're in contact with the breath, you're in contact with your ability to be inspired and to calm. Slow the breathing down and pay attention to details about the breath. Can you hear your breath? Drop awareness into your lower abdomen, an inch below the navel, half an inch in, breathing slowly and easily. And pay attention to the most subtle details in your environment. Subtle sounds, the way colors are making themselves known. Be aware of anything at all, sense, and bring attention right to the center of the chest. I am, shining in every direction at once. I am, slowly breathing down. And now in that space of stillness, just pay attention. See your experience with your emotions. See the emotions as though they're clouds, just coming and going. Breathing slowly and easy. And I'm going to tell you 4 different emotions I'm feeling right now. I feel a sense of connection with you. I don't know who you are, but I feel some connection with people in the world, because on some level, I feel that we're connected through the heart. And I feel a sense of gratitude for that. And I just want to, again, express any 4 emotions whatsoever. I feel a sense of sadness for the challenges I see going on. You know, how I see people suffering just on the street and people in conflict. I feel a sadness about that. I feel some anger about people who seem to target each other, or target, people with just vitriol and just almost like a viciousness. But I also feel a sense of hope. I have a sense of faith in us, the human family. So these are the feelings I'm having. Now I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath with me. Support me. I'm going to sigh those feelings up into the ether. So inhale, sighing it up. Now I'm bringing my attention right to the center of the chest. I'm just going to be still for a moment and just experience my presence. Now I want to suggest to you that what that practice does, when it doesn't matter what you're feeling, express it and release it, good or bad, whatever the feelings are. Just express the feelings, take a breath, and just release that breath into the ether. Release all those feelings into the ether, and just be aware of what you're feeling in the aftermath. So I want to suggest that you have a baseline emotion. Now that baseline, that all the other emotions are piled up on top of. Now your most intense feelings don't necessarily reflect who you are. the most deeply. You know, it's kind of like being on the playground. The loudest kid doesn't necessarily have the most to say. And so what I want to suggest is that we want to be aware of those underlying subtle feelings that are underneath. And when you do this practice, when you say what you're feeling and sigh up into the air, and then pay attention right in the aftermath. And I want to suggest that that baseline emotion is like the pages that all the words are printed on. That baseline emotion is a sort of a slight affection for oneself and a slight sense of optimism, a slight sense of hopefulness. Now, I want to suggest to you that this is an ambient field, an affection for oneself, and a slight hopefulness and optimism. It doesn't matter what the circumstances you're in. Even if you're at the end of your life, when you get to that just base presence, that hopefulness still remains, even at the end. So I want to encourage you to do this practice. Take a moment. Say 4 different emotions that you're feeling. First, get really grounded, and then pay close attention. Bring attention right to the center of your chest and speak out loud. Say 4 different emotions you're feeling. And at the end of that, take a deep breath, sigh it up into the ether, and then take a moment just to pay attention to how you feel. Let us know how it works for you. Now, be aware that these practices that we're doing, what we're doing is allowing the sediment to settle so that we can look down into the depths of our being and find that deepest intent. So I'm going to ring the bell. I'm going to ask you to listen carefully. Here we go. Please let us know about your intent, because you are beautiful. Namaste, my friend. Thank you so much for joining. Let other people know about these videos. Let's grow these circles together, because we want to develop healing circles that we can all draw strength from. Namaste, my friend. Take care.